your face with live coverage of hot, exciting NHL action and tough college basketball competition. It's a shattering experience. And it's all on the KBL Entertainment Network.
The 1988-89 Pittsburgh Penguins charged into the new season with the strongest cast of talent in the club's history. Led by fifth-year sensation Mario Lemieux, the Pens would finish this year as the sixth best team in all of pro hockey. Game by game, the spirit of this squad grew, basking in the light of a resurgent Pittsburgh Penguin pride. Recording more sellouts than ever before, with their beloved fans witnessing more wins than ever before, the spirit of this marriage of fan and team was clear. There's a team in the building. As expected, the Pens opened the new season with a scorching offense. Still, Tony Esposito, the Pens general manager, wanted a stopper on defense. In November, he found his man. Tom Barrasso would be lead man in goal. He would help lead this club through the dark days of December and earn his team 2 dramatic curtain calls at season's end. Under first-year head coach Gene Ubriaco, the Pens became plucky. Visiting smiles became frowns. Suddenly, it seemed, the Pittsburgh Penguins were one of them. One of the high-powered Patrick Division clubs who left a black and blue calling card. Ubriaco took the reins off of 20-year-old Rob Brown and watched the second-year right wing burn NHL goalies for 49 goals and a staggering 115 points. Even more shocking is the statistic that in 118 NHL games, he had 73 goals, 4 more than Mario had in the same number of games. An all-star in 1989, Rob Brown may well be on his way to becoming the Pens' 3rd superstar. Number 10, Dan Quinn, posted a career-high 94 points this season, blasting home 34 goals and 60 assists, while steadily moving up to 12th place on the Pens' all-time scoring list. Playing opposite Mario Lemieux and Rob Brown can be intimidating. But left wing Bob Airey quietly found enough ice to record career highs in goals 26, assists 32, and points with 58. The rugged play of Jim Johnson went from steady to rock solid. Zarly Zalewski's 12 goals, 33 assists, and 45 points were all Penguin records for a rookie defenseman, earning him a spot on the NHL All-Rookie squad. And freshman teammate John Cullen scored in double figures, adding 37 assists. To Penguin fans, the improvement of this club was glaring. They shared first place in the brutal Patrick Division with the Rangers for much of the season. The team sizzled in December, and the workhorses like Johnson and Troy Loney took their lumps, but gave some too. In all of pro hockey, there are but 5 first-team All-Stars selected each year. In 1989, the Pittsburgh Penguins were blessed with 2 of the 5. Paul Coffey far outdistanced his nearest competitor in scoring, pumping in 30 goals and an incredible 85 assists. When controlling the puck, he was like a point guard, charging up ice with breathtaking speed before dishing off a dazzling pass to a cutting winger. His Stanley Cup championship experience lifted the entire club to a new level of confidence. Finally, there is the man who many hockey experts feel is the greatest player in the game today, Mario Lemieux. With 85 goals and 114 assists, his 199 points again won him the Art Ross Trophy as the league's leading scorer. His list of club and league records goes on and on. One of the more notable new records he set was in a game against the New Jersey Devils on New Year's Eve, when he became the first player ever to score 5 different ways in a single game. He scored at even strength, then while shorthanded. Still in the first period, he scored on a power play. Later, in a marvelous display of patience with the puck, he scored on a penalty shot. He completed his feat with an empty net goal.
It all comes natural to me. I don't try to impress people by the way I play. I just try to make the right play at the right time, and sometimes it's a little fancy, but it works.
Mario also broke Wayne Gretzky's league record for shorthanded goals with 13. Shadowed by the league's best defensive forwards every night, his feats became even more remarkable. His instincts take him where none have tread before. He is Pavarotti and Baryshnikov, touching the chords of perfection in his craft. Only time will tell if there will be another like him. For now, he is Pittsburgh's, and whether at home or on the road, they come in droves to see his gift. With Lemieux, Coffey, and Brown on fire, the club kept digging in through the marathon NHL season. For the first time in Penguin history, the team defeated every club in the league at least once in the same season. Their confidence grew with some last-second heroics. Against Chicago, shorthanded, in a tie game, Dave Hannon went in all alone and came away with the game-winning goal. Games that in other years may have slipped away were now being counted in the Penguin win column. However, the Pens' most devastating team weapon was their power play. They smoked NHL goalies for a new league record 119 power play goals. Their offense could best be described with a single word: explosive. The Pittsburgh Penguins were now ready to enter the cave of the swirling monsters, the Spectrum in Philadelphia. The Pens had not survived this monument to misfortune since 1974. Penguin fans were there, and some local Pittsburgh DJs brewed up a mystical chant.
Bone cross, bone cross. Bone cross.
Wendell Young, a Flyer castoff, knew he would have to survive a furious first period. Young was flawless. His heroics in this house of horrors inspired the Penguin team. With Mario drawing attention behind the net, John Cullen scored. Minutes later, Cullen fired a shot that Bill Bourque picked up and stuffed past a surprised Ron Hextall. It was 2-0 Pens, and the once gracious visitors turned nasty. The Flyers managed to score, but the rest was all Pittsburgh. Bob Airey scored to make it 3-1. Then Rob Brown beat Hextall to break the game wide open.
Here's a lead pass to Quinn on a breakaway. Quinn going to the Flyers in, makes a move on Hextall. He shoots and scores! Danny Quinn, the Penguins now lead 5-2. Oh, hallelujah, Hollywood.
Having slain the myth of the swirling monsters, the Pens would return to repeat the task 2 more times this season. Wendell Young earned first star of the game honors and afterward talked about the significance of the victory.
I think it's a big confidence builder for our team in general, because coming into the Spectrum, taking 2 points where we haven't in like 15 years.
Everybody came up big for us, and that's what it was going to take. You know, Mario played well, we had great goaltending from Wendell Young. Our defense played solid, and we scored goals at key times.
Oh, I think it's a monkey off the whole city's back. I think the city doesn't need it, and we sure don't need it. And the city's getting a lot of monkeys off its back, and hopefully the Penguins are helping do that.
3 days later, the Pens and Wendell Young proved once again that they were for real. This time, Young notched 43 saves, while the Pittsburgh offense did its job. The result? They stoned the Bruins in Boston, 5-2. In March, it was Tom Barrasso's turn to steal some headlines as he turned away an incredible 57 shots against Chicago for yet another Penguin victory.
He shoots it himself. Barrasso the save. Then they have here the Hawks. Penguins in. Larmer comes in. He pulls the trigger and shoots it right on Barrasso, who makes the big save. He slides it over. Here's Manson of Chicago firing right on. Barrasso made the save, and he covers up.
Tom Barrasso could feel the confidence growing. He could also sense a rapidly climbing spirit of respect for the Pens around the league.
This year, I think we've proven our quality as a hockey club. And I think with achieving people finally saying, well, we got to play Pittsburgh tonight, and they're a good team. I think when people start saying that, that's what gives you character. That's what, builds up your team, is the idea that now you're getting respect, and then you respect yourself even that much more.
Their respect in Philadelphia surged to new heights as they battled into overtime with the Flyers in the final game of the regular season. With time running out, Philadelphia, desperate for this win, pulled Hextall for another attacker. Mario, with a flick of his wrist, ended Philly's streak of winning seasons and pushed them into a 4th-place finish. The Pens' win streak at the Spectrum was now at 2. As NHL playoff fever swept across western Pennsylvania, the Penguins seemed to adopt their city's hard work ethic as their own. When the Pens met the 3rd-place New York Rangers in round 1, the people of Pittsburgh arrived at the Civic Arena filled with pride and confidence.
Go Pens, you're gonna win it tonight!
I think we have a good chance. I think we're going to win it. We're going to take it.
It's going to be close, but I will end up winning.
Oh, the electricity, you won't know until you get inside. You'll feel it, believe me.
Another sellout crowd was on its feet, rewarding this team with a standing ovation. This Pittsburgh Penguin pride swept through the players, and a masterpiece unfolded in Game 1. It began with a firm message. It was now time for the veteran all-star number 77, Paul Coffey, to spread his playoff wings. His blinding slapshot was just the beginning. Coffey's 2 goals and obvious command of this game won it 3-1.
It's real tough to get that first win, especially in your own building. I mean, everybody was a little bit nervous. The fans did a super job getting us into it, but it's just tough to get that first win under your belt. And if we had no win tonight, we really would have had our backs against the wall. So, one thing we've got to do is play even better than we did tonight. Every game in the playoffs, you got to better yourself. The individual's got to play better, and the team's got to play better. And if we're going to win, we're going to have to do that.
They did just that as Kevin Stevens started the scoring. Brown scored 29 seconds later. Then Jock Callender deked his way into a 3-0 lead with only 4.5 minutes gone in the first period. After a Ranger score, Bork buried a slap shot for a 4-1 lead. The rout was on as the Pens scored to make it 5-1, chasing Ranger goalie Bob Froese. The Rangers team was in disarray as Zarley Zalapski scored his first playoff goal. And ironically, Mario's first ever playoff goal would be an empty netter. The Pens won Game 2 7-4 as their beloved fans saluted their team, sending them off to New York with a commanding 2-0 first-round lead. The troubled Rangers came out with their backs to the wall in Game 3 in front of a volatile Madison Square Garden crowd. Tom Barrasso, who had been steady in Games 1 and 2, would face 95 shots in the next 2 games. He would stop 89 of them. His saves ranged from sensational to unbelievable. Head coach Gene Ubriaco had to know what was coming next. When Coffey fed Lemieux for the opening score, it seemed to take the steam out of the Rangers' valiant effort. Cullen and Stevens scored, and Dan Quinn tallied twice for a convincing 5-3 Penguin win. Down 3-0, the Rangers were facing playoff elimination. They took to the Garden ice prepared for an all-out battle. Tom Barrasso again was in a spectacular goaltending groove, and the Rangers simply could not beat him. New York turned to rookie goaltender Mike Richter, and Lemieux quickly came in the back door. Cullen found an all-alone Phil Bourque in front, and Richter was helpless. The Penguins had stolen the game's momentum. Just 3 minutes later, Bourque again beat the young goalie, and at 3-0, the Rangers turned desperate. New York would score, but Mario backhanded a dandy of a pass to Brown, who was all by himself. At 4-1, it was all over. The final was 4-3, and all-star defenseman Paul Coffey smiled with pride at his team's 4-game sweep of the Rangers. It was a fitting tribute to the men in black and gold. Their head coach, Gene Ubriaco, general manager Tony Esposito, and the Edward J. DeBartolo family. Now it was back to Pittsburgh for the Patrick Division Finals. It was quite a surprise to see the struggling fourth-place Flyers in the Civic Arena for the second round. They had upset the first-place Washington Capitals in 6 games. In Game 1 of this series, 2 of the toughest teams in hockey would square off. Philadelphia scored first, but Mario Lemieux tied it up on assists from Zalapski and Stevens. Philadelphia scored twice to go ahead 3-1 before Dan Quinn put one in to bring the Pens back to within 1. The comeback had just begun. 33 seconds later, Cullen stuffed one by Hextall, and it was a brand new game, 3-3. The game winner came from Rob Brown with 6 minutes left to play. In Game 2, the Flyers stopped the Pens' 5-game playoff win streak, tying the series at 1 game apiece. Back in Philadelphia, it was as though there never was a problem in this building. Lemieux scored first. Mario then found Dan Quinn, who caught goalie Ron Hextall napping. The Pens saw their 2-0 lead vanish on 2 Flyer scores until Jock Callender scored on a rebound of a Lemieux shot to go up 3-2. Early in the third period, the Flyers tied it up, and ghosts from years past seemed to fill the spectrum. The game moved into an overtime period.
Back with Borg. Brown the near side trying to beat Howe. He got to have a step on him. Brown coming for the net. Brown in front of Borg. He shoots and scores. The Penguins win in overtime. Oh, stop the press. The Pens win game 3.
It was a marvelous win that the Pens would need, as Philadelphia evened the series at 2 games apiece after winning Game 4. Game 5 back in Pittsburgh may well have been called Game Lemieux.
Catch Lemieux behind the defense, walks in, makes a move. He shoots and scores. Mario Lemieux just beat Hextall like a rented mule. And the Penguins lead 1-0. The circles go to Harry, walks right in, Harry's in front. Lemieux scores. Mario Lemieux gets his second. The Penguins lead 2-0. Oh, Michael motorcycle. Lemieux back in the Flyers in by himself. Cuts in, shoots. He scores! The hat trick for Mario Lemieux. And the Penguins lead 3-0. Get a phone and call Arnold Slick from Turtle Creek. Mario Lemieux. Now to the Flyers in. Here's Brown in front of Bob Harry. He shoots and scores. Bob Harry makes it 4-0. And the Penguins are really up on the Flyers now. Buy Sam a drink and get a dog one too. By Howell, gave it right behind the net. Here's Lemieux, put it in the bucket. It's no goal. He picked Hextall's bucket like he was walking down Fifth Avenue. And the Penguins lead 5-1. Oh, great balls of fire. Mario Lemieux's 4th of the night. And here's Loney. He gets the bucket on in. It's off Murphy. And the Penguins get another goal and lead 6-1. Oh, you'd have to be.
And that was only the first period.
You would have to be here to believe it. The Penguins now lead 6-1.
When Rob Brown scored to make it 7-1, Ron Hextall had seen enough. In the end, it was a record-setting victory for Mario and the Penguins. The final score read 10-7, and the 10 goals stood as a stunning reminder of the explosive offense that has become a Pittsburgh trademark. Game 6 was a Philadelphia win at the Spectrum. And when Ken Reggett replaced an injured Ron Hextall in goal for Game 7, the fates seemed to be smiling on the Pens. But the backup goalie turned in an extraordinary performance, and the Flyers stole Game 7 and the series. For the Penguin team and the Pittsburgh fans, 1988-89 marked a giant step into the elite of professional hockey. With their 6th place overall finish, 3 All-Stars, world-class goaltending, and playoff maturity, the Pittsburgh Penguins are poised for a decade of success in the 90s. With the team's growing sense of pride and confidence, and with their fans standing tall and true behind them, it has become clear that in the city of Pittsburgh, there truly is a team in the building.